Hi, everybody. I'm Doug.
I'm Brynna.
And this is the recap for week 1 of Technical and October 2019, shaping something.
Yep.
So we wanted to play around this month with the idea of shaping your dance, taking what would normally be like pretty basic moves and just changing some small elements of them for playfulness and musicality. So the very first thing we did
Was pass-bys.
was pass-bys, yes. And specifically thinking about sort of normal pass-bys, a normal pass-bys, we're moving very evenly. We're facing each other for most of it.
Yeah, pretty squared off.
And so we were like, what if we explicitly choose to face one direction for as long as possible and wait for the last movement to turn? Do-da-da, do-da-da, ha. And so we played around with that.
Yeah, we found that the things that were most successful at that were staying close by, always having some bend in our arm. And yeah, those are the big ones.
Cool. Yeah. So we did that. Boop, ba-da. I forget how we got into this.
With the 6 count send out.
I think this was just a different idea. So we took that idea of turning and noticed that, like, when we turn, our orientation changes, and that changes other things. So we took an idea of leading, turning away, and sending follows across our bodies in a pass-by, and sort of played around with how that felt different, how it made the follows feel different.
Yeah. For this move in particular for followers, something that we were working on was staying close by so we could get that goosh and swoosh. So the goosh coming from that rock step, and then that stretch that you take with the rock step, then making you be able to shoot across down the line.
That's the swoosh. Yeah, so we worked on that. Again, a big thing was staying close to each other so we could really stay in connection, not have this be like an army thing that was puts our shoulders at risk, but really thinking about creating that gush and whoosh through body movement. And then also thinking about using the energy, but then being really intentional energy, because the last sort of thing we took from this idea was if we don't do it in 6 counts and instead do a really low energy here, we can take that into a more sort of solo jazz breakaway style space and really fill out that movement with like way more than 6 counts of stuff.
Yeah.
And we practiced doing that follow initiated as well as leader initiated. We talked about sort of if this gush and whoosh for the 6 count is 100%, what it feels like to go to 10%, either as a leader or a follow. Boom. Hoo.
Yeah. We talked about, especially for followers, being really clear and intentional, especially during that 10% part. If we have an idea that's going to take us down the line, that we don't want to be looking at the floor, but we want to be letting our partner know, like, hey, follow me.
Yeah. And then for leaders, if we felt like we couldn't really come out of that movement back into rhythm, we said a big thing for that was about trying to keep this distance the same throughout it. So even as we go into that low energy and we're playing around with stuff, I always want to be able to square off to Brynna and be ready for a rock step really close to each other. So those are the things we played with. We also listened to different versions of the same song a bunch to let you play around with like how you let these things affect the sort of micro parts of a song that change.
Yeah, definitely. And I found that we were a lot more successful when we took that intro of the song just to groove out to it and really listen. And yeah, we rocked it.
Awesome. So we're going to come back next week with some more probably very different ideas of shaping your movements. We're excited to play.
Great. Thanks so much.